Well, hello everyone. This is Keith with Positively Osceola. Welcome to another one of our Coffee Talk Lives. And today, again, we are fortunate to be with our friend Charlie Draper of Draper Law Office. How you doing today?
Good. Glad to be here.
You know, lots of things we can be talking about today. The weather is beautiful, and that leads us up to this spring break kind of seasonal talk. But before we do that, something we typically don't always do and we should be doing is reminding people what you've done for the community since 1984. You're not going to bring it up, so I'm going to bring it up just for those who may have moved in the area or simply weren't aware. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your firm, please?
Yeah, so we moved down from New York back in '84, my wife and I, and opened up Draper Law Office right across the street from the old courthouse, 705 West Emmett Street in Kissimmee. We used to handle criminal law, but no longer. We have limited our practice to personal injury and wrongful death, and also family law.
Right.
And so we're, as I said, we're 705 West Emmett Street. If you're ever in the area, please stop in to say hello. If you have a legal problem, stop in or call us. And we get a lot of calls that are not related to either personal injury or divorces. And so we refer those clients out to individuals in the community who we know do well.
Right.
Okay, and so it's not just those two areas where we try to cover. We try to stay active in the community.
Sure.
St. Cloud Chamber, we were in it for a long time, and every once in a while we try to maintain that public image and help out wherever we can. And so you can visit us on our website, www.draperlawoffice.com. Give us a call at 407-846-0075, or as I said, just stop in at 705 West Emmett Street.
Great.
I'd love to chat with you.
You know, I tell you, it's we've said this before. I think if you're new to an area, it's really challenging to know, who do you rely on for things?
Right.
It might seem, if you've lived in a community for a long time, those are simple choices. Where do you get your car done? Where are you getting your hair cut? If you have a legal situation that pops up and you need professional advice, everybody has advice, but if you have a need for legal advice that you can trust, that can be challenging when you don't know who to talk to.
Right.
So I'm glad that you're mentioning it today, because that is a big thing. I can remember talking to a friend years ago that said, my gosh, I wouldn't mind moving to a new area, but I wouldn't even know where to start as far as building relationships again that you trust. And
Right.
Big deal. So today, I thought with the weather being perfect, it is crazy how fast time is going. We're in March right now, and here we are up against spring break starting.
Right.
So teachers and students, families are very happy to have that break, I'm sure. But what comes with that is a lot of the young drivers are going to be able to do things and travel to places they don't typically travel to, the beach perhaps, with a bunch of friends, and they can be distracted.
Exactly.
Hopefully they are 100% sober. We don't want the student drivers and the young drivers, like any of us, to be distracted. So I thought I'd talk about those things today. Not distracted while driving, absolutely sober while driving at all times. And then the last one is something that people ask us a lot to talk about, Charlie, and that is the uninsured motorist portion of people's auto coverage. So we can chat about that. But why don't we turn it over to you real quick and talk about the first one, which is the not distracted. I know we've talked about it before. It's a big deal, right?
It is, and just imagine it is spring break. Everyone's in a good mood, and you've got a car full of buddies, and you're heading to Daytona or New Smyrna or Melbourne, and these young kids, they don't have the experience in driving.
Yep.
And as you know, just driving to work, adults can be distracted.
Yeah.
But that extra noise, I can relate to you, and I'll label myself Exhibit A. My mother took me down when I turned 16 to get my driver's license, and that night I wanted to go to a basketball game, and so I did go, and about halfway to the game, I got clocked doing 65 in a 50-mile-an-hour, totally sober, but that was, I mean, that is something that you never forget.
Yeah.
And so, you know, not only distraction, but speed, and you know, someone who is in their teens, they just don't have the driving experience.
Yeah.
To cope with distractions or speed, you know? And so that's so important. And as you said, during spring break, it's so important that your children respect, their responsibility in making sure their children drive safely. And usually children look at their parents,
Right.
and their driving habits. So, but that's so important.
I mean, that's a big, that right there is a big point. I mean, they do learn from us. And my son is, he's very well organized.
Right.
He's very ordered in how he handles his driving. He drives back and forth to UCF, and that's not an easy drive.
No.
So, whenever I've displayed some lack of attention while driving, I'm just being honest about it. If I'm ever thinking about anything else, talking about anything else, he reminds me, hey,
Right.
Dad, pay attention to the driving. You can do that later. I'm not talking about texting. I'm talking about anything that distracts you.
Right.
And it's hard. I've got to think, if you're 17 years old, and you're, like you're saying, if you're with your friends, it's just an automatic distraction.
Right.
How do
yeah.
you not consider that?
Noise in the car?
Yeah, it's tough.
And you're anticipating a great time at the beach. I mean, it's euphoric.
Yeah,
It's
no doubt. Not to mention, of course, if we would hope that that the young folks are thinking before they partake in anything that would not have them be sober, right? So
Right.
That's speak on that for us. That's a challenge that it has been a long time challenge in our communities, and we still see it today, right?
Well, we do, and obviously, not only are the young children, they don't have the years of experience that
Yeah.
we have, but if you add to that the distraction plus alcohol, it's surely going to lead to a bad result.
Just like this bee. Yeah, I got him. All right, so that's a big thing, so that we're basically challenging parents, to have that discussion with your young drivers. I mean, I think that's probably paramount. I've tried not to assume that my son's going to just be the perfect undistracted driver,
Right.
or non-distracted driver. That's just not how it works. This bee is very persistent. I think we're going to leave him there. But anyway, so I think that comes down, personally, I think that comes to a discussion, parental or guardian discussion with the young drivers.
Well, and also, as I pointed out, your parents are a role model, so you set an example for your
Yeah,
children,
no
and
doubt.
if you're driving in this day and age without a seatbelt,
Yeah.
or you're driving, erratically. I mean, kids, they see this.
They do.
And those are habits that they acquire from you. So it's very important that you set an example, but also have this conversation with them, because there is such a large responsibility particularly for a young person, to take on that responsibility. And if you're as a driver, you're responsible for not only the operation of the vehicle, but also what's going on in your vehicle.
No doubt.
The other kids.
I watched a video today. This is certainly a tad on the random side, a little bit of a squirrel moment. But I remember this morning a video came on, and we get up rather early starting to work, and it was a young mom saying to the video camera, I am never going to be a hypocrite. I'm always going to be honest with my kids no matter what. And then it shifts, the video edits, and it flips over to the mom talking to her kids saying, get in bed or Santa's not gonna be able to bring you presents this morning. And it says, and the Easter bunny. It's like, okay, so the kids learn from us, no question, even when we're not 100% on. Kind of want to flip this. I know we only have a limited amount of time. Kind of want to flip this to a different segment, which I mentioned, or a different topic, which is something people really do ask us about,
Okay.
which I know you're very versed in, which is selecting uninsured motorist
Correct.
for your coverage, for your auto coverage. Can you give us a little highlight of why that's so important again? Because it really is. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. Keith, I don't know what the percentages are, but I can tell you that there's a ton of vehicles on the road with the very bare minimum coverage, okay?
Yeah.
And you can legally put a vehicle on the road in Florida with only two types of coverage: property damage of $10,000 and PIP, or no fault coverage, of $10,000.
Right.
So if you're involved in an accident with someone who has the bare minimum coverage and you're injured, or a family member is injured, you're not going to be able to get compensated from that person,
Right.
okay? Or then the same thing, if whether you're in a vehicle, or whether you're a pedestrian on the side of the road, or on a bicycle, if you're involved in an accident with a vehicle that has no bodily injury coverage, and you're injured, you're not going to get any compensation, either you or your family. So what the importance of uninsured motorists is that it gives you an opportunity to protect you and your family members in the event that you're involved in an accident with a vehicle that has no bodily injury coverage.
Right.
And it's everyone has to live within a budget, but uninsured motorist coverage is not that expensive. And so let's say it's another $60 a month.
Right.
Not a month, $60 per 6-month period. That's really only $10 a month,
Right.
to buy that protection for you and your family. So I would urge you, and insurance companies are not, I don't think, do a good job in educating the insureds of the importance of uninsured motorist coverage. So you've got to, if you don't have it, you need to ask your agent or broker how much will it cost to get it.
Right.
Okay. So it is it's very, very important, and particularly in Florida, where you've got so many vehicles with the bare minimum insurance. So.
Sure. Yeah, we had a conversation about this. I think in one of the initial or the earlier times we had mentioned this to folks in discussions, and it just, even though I'm typically precautious when it comes to coverages. I just feel, okay, so the mathematics are,
Right.
You got to do what you can do, and you said it well. We all have to live within a budget, right? And it doesn't matter what, whatever that is. You still have to, at least, I think, in my thinking, you have to still look at it.
Right.
And I think sometimes it's just, gosh, I don't even want to deal with this. I'm paying what I'm paying. The chances of me having an accident or being involved in an accident are slim. That's hard to say anymore. I mean, it's like you said, I'm on 192 today, and it seems like the mathematics are, you're gonna get popped, I don't even know how you don't. But besides that, I just think, I can remember us talking about this, and I was home, and some kind of a commercial came on that evening and was saying, look, if you haven't selected uninsured motorist in your automobile coverage, you need to do that.
Right.
And it was just absolute, right? And I'm like, well, people take that as I'm not going to hear that. But it did say this, and I think we need to probably encourage this. It doesn't take anything to call your insurance broker.
No.
If you did it online, it doesn't take anything to log back in and scroll down and see if it's selected. And if it's not, know that you're probably risking a lot.
And another thing, which we haven't really talked about much, but you should reevaluate your policy, if not once a year, every couple years.
Agreed.
And I always recommend going to a broker, an automobile insurance broker, because he or she can shop around
Yes.
for the best price and also educate you about the importance of uninsured motorist coverage. So let them do the work for you, but it's so important to make sure that you and your family are protected.
And I think that's like the perfect segue. Circling it back to what I said, you know, having a relationship with someone that where you can ask a question. I mean, I'm a digital company. You certainly are involved in the digital space as well. It's hard. It's hard to have that discussion sometimes with the chat. That's probably AI at this point. So I mean, you get answers that way. But I think when you look at somebody and say, "Hey, look, I've got a concern, but I don't have a lot of money. Where can I where can I find a spot to be safe for my family?" So there you have it. Anything else you want to cover on this today?
No, I think just again to reiterate, make it a practice to evaluate your insurance policy, if not once a year, every couple of years, because you might be in a better position to purchase it now than you were 2 years ago.
Well said.
When you couldn't afford it.
Yep.
But
well said.
I mean, it's so important, Keith.
It is. So we'll encourage everyone again to take this spring break, which of course is like the Insta segue. Well, if you're a teacher, you won't agree. The Insta segue to summer break, which I just can't even believe we're saying that out loud. This breeze, though, it feels like we just kicked back to late January.
I know, and I think the temperatures are going to be dropping soon again, but not what we've been experiencing in the past.
Yeah, for like an hour.
I don't know where the first 2.5 months have gone this year. I mean, January, February, and now half of March.
It is. I think if I'm correct, this weekend is the St. Patrick's Day, the Paint the Cloud Green event.
Oh, is it?
On Saturday in downtown St. Cloud. So it's going to be Aaron Go Brock. You know, last year I must have asked 20 people, not putting you on the spot.
Right.
I must have asked 20 people. So, okay, Aaron Go Brock, what does that mean? Nobody knows. Do you know?
I don't. No.
I did put you on the spot. So I had a fun time walking up and down the streets of St. Cloud. Oh my gosh. They looked at me like I had 14 eyeballs.
Well, and do you know?
I do.
Please share.
You can't ask the question if you don't know. Well, I guess you can.
Please share.
It means Ireland forever.
Oh, okay.
So there you have it, folks. There is the end of this particular session. A little bit of knowledge. It's all we try to share here, Charlie.
It's great information.
It is. I'm not sure what you do with it. I guess if you're like, I'm going to go on and on. So obviously Elijah last year with the UCF marching band went to Ireland.
Okay.
And I think it was last year. And they were there for a week. And
was it St. Patty's Day?
It was St. Trip. They did it St. Patrick's Day. The UCF marching knights marched right down the main street on Dublin. And I asked a bunch of friends. This is the fun part of this talk. I asked a bunch of friends that I had heard were going to go to Dublin.
Right.
And so I said, hey, do me a favor, because I'm not going to be able to go. If you see the marching knights, because you're going to see the parade,
right.
If you see the marching knights, please get some photos and videos up close. And they went, absolutely, Keith, we'll do that. Not one of them did it. Why?
They were sober.
There's a chance. They were in Dublin on St. Patrick's Day. That's why they didn't do it. So you just read between the lines there, folks. Anyway, Charlie, I appreciate your time.
Thank
man.
you.
Always, always. So good conversation. Please encourage your young leaders, those student drivers, and us ourselves as well as adults, to be mindful that a lot of folks are out and about for spring break that may not typically be on the roads in that way. And then, of course, that's going to hold true to be the soon coming summer break as well.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Charlie. Thanks, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Got it. All right. Again, this is Keith with Positively Osceola, along with Charlie Draper of Draper Law Office. together making a positive difference in and around